How you doing? This is a video about an HP plasma TV that it keeps blowing the same module in the Z-Sus board, and I think I have a fix for this, and I want to go ahead and share a video on how to overcome this. It looks like the same problematic issue that keeps popping back up. So first off, it's a model number. It's HP CP0603, and it also goes by the HP PL5060N. It's a 50-inch plasma HDTV. And I've had this set blow the same part twice, so I think I'm going to go ahead and show you what I did to try to prevent it from happening again. Okay, so before we go to the shop, I want to show you which board it is in the back of the TV. It's on the, if you're facing the back, it's on the right side. It's this board right here, and it's this module right here. It keeps blowing. I've already put my solution on here. I'll show you a little bit more detail how I did it when we go downstairs in the shop, but I wanted to show you inside the set where it's located. So the vertical board that's on the right side of the set if you're facing the back. Okay, let's go down in the shop. Okay, so this is the module right here. This is actually the heat sink above the module. But when you pull the actual module out, it looks like this little flat board that's screwed up underneath the heat sink here. So I have a new module underneath there. That one, by the way, is the new one was a lot fatter than this one. Anyhow, it is a tell you the number of this part. It's called a YPPD J015c. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let's go ahead and zoom in on the label so you can pick up that part number. YPPD J015c. This is the module that keeps popping. There's a module right below it, the J016c. I never had that one go bad at all. It's always this top one, YPPD J015c. So I noticed on this module the heatsink is a lot smaller on the top one than it is on the bottom one. The bottom one's a lot thicker, and so I believe this problem that keeps recurring is related to cooling. If you look at this particular module, there are a lot of difference between these modules, but this one here, the semiconductors, I think they're power transistors or FETs, MOSFETs, actually blew off the insulation. I don't know, there's 4 of them in here, and it blew. Every one of them had the insulation blown off when it failed. So I did 2 things. I got a new one that's thicker than this one, and the bottom's covered with epoxy on the new one. And then what I did is I added this fan to the heat sink. I found this was actually a fan that came out of an old set that I pulled it out of, and I set it up so that the fan is blowing up, and right behind this, after the back cover's mounted off, are the vent holes, so it's going to blow the air out of the set. I don't think you want to pull the air in. I think you want to pull the air out, because what will happen is there'll be a natural flow from gravity going up. Since this is the bottom, it should go up through this heatsink and then out through the fan. So this is a 12 volt fan, and I had a cable that was actually plugged into this fan that I need to add some extra wire to, and I found a place on the power supply that has a 12 volt source. So we'll go ahead and hook, I'll show you how I'm going to hook that up. I found a connector that I think I can just splice some wires into there and pick up the 12 volts for this fan. Okay, before we go back up, I wanted to show a little more detail about how I mounted this fan on here. So what I did is I drilled 2 holes into the heatsink, and I put I believe it was a 2-inch 1032 screw and a nut on the bottom, and I put 2 of those, one just diagonal across from each other, one on this side, one on this side. And I think 2 is all it's going to really take to hold it. And then I did take a small piece of just linoleum, just a little strip of linoleum, and I stuck it on both ends here to kind of cushion it, give it a little vibration dampening between the heatsink and this. And you got to make sure too, when you put the linoleum in there, make sure your fan can still spin and has the right clearance, so you know it's not blocking the fan blades. So anyhow, I wanted to show you that before we go back up and mount it up there. So we'll go back up now and put it back in the set and run the power line. Sorry, one more detail before I go any further. I just wanted to give you the board number on this, the Z-Sus board that has the failed module. It's a and this set is actually, it says HP, but it's actually built by LG. So the board is a Z-Sus, and the part number is 6870QZ C004C. Okay, so we got our board mounted back into the set. All the connectors back in. I want to mention one thing. When you replace these boards, be careful with these ribbon connectors. These things will rip. They can tear really easy. So the proper way to take them out is this connector here. It slides. There's a little lip here that pops out. You have to pop that out before you can pull the ribbon out. So just make sure you do it right, otherwise you could damage. If you damage these ribbons, basically you got to throw the set away, because then the panel's bad. So anyhow, just wanted to mention that when you're removing the Y-Sus board, or Z-Sus, I'm sorry. Anyhow, so we got the board back in. Now, what I wanted to show you is down over here, I found a connector on the power supply board. It's the wide connector on the bottom. Yeah, so 5 and 6 are both 12 volts, and then the 7th pin would be ground. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this one's going to be the plus 12 volts, and then this one will be our ground wire. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a wire stripper and skin back a little bit of that wire so we can solder another wire on. Okay, so here's my connector. I'm getting ready to solder this. I stripped these wires back. Again, number 6 and number 7. Number 6 is the plus, and number 7 is a ground. So I'll go ahead and dab some solder on here, and then we'll tape it up with some electrical tape, and we should be good to go. Okay, let's see what happens when I turn our TV on, see if our fan kicks in. Oh, look at that. Took right off. I'll show you the normal startup for this set. Okay, so as soon as you power up, you're going to get the HP logo for just a bit. It says like initializing, something like that. And then it'll go right to your signal.
Stays at 10, only on Sci-Fi. Imagine a world with the
plan to harvest their own garden hits a snag.
what I say.
And we need your help.
So we're good.
For some shoppers,
Yeah.
extreme couponing
Wanted to say what
philosophy is to give it
the symptom of this thing is. Okay, what's going on when when this particular module goes out, your picture is going to go like almost to black. You'll still have a picture, but it's like really faint, and it looks like you got no contrast. It's all washed out. I mean, you can barely see the picture, and that's when you know it's a good chance that you know that that module is defective. So, all right, so we got the fan installed. You know, I guess I'll give everybody an update later on. This, like I said, this was the second time it blew out, so hopefully third time's a charm with the fan. That should make the difference. So, okay, thanks again. Hope this helped you out.